Now that camp's kind of wrapped up,
Yeah.
what did you learn about your team during fall camp and now heading into game week?
Yeah, we are in Detroit prep and all that. We're still doing some situational stuff just because practices were cut down. Like I've said before, I thought we worked hard, and I think that's a key ingredient to being successful. Got a chance to see some of the young players, so now, are these guys going to play? How much are they going to play? How are we going to utilize the redshirt rule? Who's not ready? As far as the veteran players, I thought they operated well through camp, knowing what to do, how to do it in drills. That showed up. They did go hard. So overall, camp went well. I thought it was quick, with the new rules and all that. I thought it went fast. That's why we're utilizing this time right now, which is good for us. But overall, mentality was good. I thought the leadership on the team improved throughout camp, which is important. You want to see that. And I feel like the young guys responded well. Some adversity, and we're seeing it right now, but they're out there working, they're responding the right way. There's not a lot of issues from that standpoint. So we'll see. We're going to finish out today, really this week. We'll have our Friday practice, which is not much, and then we have our Fan Fest, and we get into true game week, which always changes. And when you have a deadline, you really have a deadline. Intensity, urgency, things like that start to pick up. Focus, getting these guys ready to go play.
What do you want to see on Saturday? I know it's more of a practice than an actual scrimmage or anything.
Yeah.
Having fans out there and stuff, and kind of the last time out there, I guess, before the game. What do you hope to accomplish or see?
Yeah, well, I think just having people out there, the change of environment. It's not going to be a scrimmage. We're going to do some drills. We're going to continue with our preparation, but just a little of that anxiety that you get when people are out there watching you. It's been the same teammates and coaches and some family members, some other people that come out there. So getting people out there to watch. And I also think, too, on the flip side is that juice you get a little bit from having somebody out there, having the crowd, and just knowing that football is right around the corner. We're going to be playing in front of X amount of people here in the first game and getting ready for that.
You mentioned you expect Khalil to play right away. What did you see from him, and that makes you confident that he can be right out there and contribute?
Well, he's still showing it. One, he knows what to do, and that's a big part of it. So it's not always just physical talent; it's about guys knowing what to do. And he's handled a couple positions. We've moved him around just because we don't know exactly where we want to play him yet. He's handled that. He's made plays in practice. He's been very competitive. He's been consistent throughout camp. And to me, those are the key ingredients. Now, he's obviously playing well. That's why we feel like he's going to play. But he showed all the qualities you're looking for in somebody knowing what to do. And he's prepared himself each and every day. And I think in his mind, he's ready to play. We haven't fine-tuned what that plan is yet. We expect him to be out there. There's a couple other guys or young guys we expect to play. But as we get into this next week, that's still, what's that going to look like? Is it 2 plays, 10 plays? And so the nice thing is we have that redshirt rule. So if it is 2 plays, then we figure out what that looks like moving forward. You don't have to make those decisions right now, but anticipate a few of these young guys out there playing.
Is it nice to, you guys are within a week and a half or so of kicking this thing off, and talking with John Molchon earlier this week, he's saying that you kind of start to feel that energy. Do you feel that energy? Is it nice to kind of get that boost after you've been practicing for 3 weeks?
Yeah, same as coach. I think players always, after a while, they're tired of going against each other. They're tired of seeing the same thing. They're tired of the same competitions over and over. And you can only do so much. And when you finally have that light at the end of the tunnel to go play somebody, everybody gets excited. It's also good for coaches because then we get into that, we mocked it, but you get into that game week, it's still different. You don't get to go back and redo it, and come Saturday, it's a Fan Fest day, it's a game day. You got to make sure you're right, and if it's not right, you're pulling back some things. So our guys have done a good job preparing themselves this week to be ready to go next week, and just knowing that we don't have walkthroughs, we don't have all this time like we did in camp to go out there and do the things we did. We have 20 hours. We've got to maximize our practice time, maximize our meeting time. You guys have to do things on your own to be ready to play.
Whether it's injuries, suspensions, whatever, is there anybody that you determine is not going to play against Troy?
Not now. Day to day at this point. So no, I don't.
With that, you guys talk about kind of blocking out the outside noise and stuff like that, but also on the flip side of that, how do you try to embrace expectations, the fact that the ceiling here is high, the bar here is high? How do you try to embrace that, but also, you mentioned at the same time, blocking it out, but how do you try to accept, kind of where you guys are at.
Yeah, I don't think we block it out entirely. I think that's always been, what this program's about. And what we understand is whatever the expectations are put on us from the outside, we can't control that, good or bad. People can say you're going to be great. People can say you're going to suck. I mean, that's just, neither one's true in our mind. So don't pay attention to that, because at the end of the year, that's when you decide whether you had a good season or a bad season, in your opinion. The expectations for us, we know what our goal is. We know what we want to accomplish. We know our standards at practice. If we just focus on that, I think that's enough. I really do. I think that's enough. I think that's what should be enough for us to be successful and get to where we want to go, and not getting caught up in what everybody else is saying. I think that's important, and guys do that fairly well. Not everybody does it as well as others, and I think that's where we have to see this team in a few weeks. What happens going into Troy, whatever people are talking about. If you're paying attention to that, again, I'll go back to our prep. Then you're not watching the cut up or the film or studying your plays like you need to be ready to go out there and actually get it done. And the bottom line is, on game day, that's when you go out there and get the test. That's when you're going to figure out if you're good enough. And Troy is really good. Troy is really tough at home. Troy has got really good players. They're well coached. If that doesn't have our players' attention and other things do, then we'll be in trouble.
With Alexander, I know that we talked about, the junior year for running back seems to really produce in your offense. He said that he's pretty close to 100% when fall camp kicked off. How has he progressed through fall, and does he look like he's potentially ready for that big workload?
Yeah, I think he is. I think he's had a really good camp. I think he's done things that, when you start to become a junior, and you're a running back or a senior, you just get into your routine. You get into, even if you feel great after practice, you're still prehabbing. You're taking care of your body. He's eating right. He's sleeping. He's doing all those little things. He's an excellent student. He plans his day, and it shows up in practice. So the hour and 45 minutes, the 2 hours, whatever it is, that guy's out there going hard. It shows, and he's been as good as I've seen him. So a lot of credit, the guys up front helping him out. Guys around him knowing their responsibilities as well. So, to me, that's the maturity level. And he's a good player. We know he's a good player, but he's also taken the work ethic along with the maturity, along with his ability, and he's putting all that together. So it's not like he's not lucky. He's working really, really hard to have the type of practices he's having right now. Do you have a question?
I do.
Yeah.
We got time. So I was talking to Brett the other day about, kind of the relationship he's had with some of the quarterbacks that came before him, and so he's talked to Barton and Dinwiddie and Jared and all these guys over the years, and just curious how you've seen that relationship grow over the years among this group of quarterbacks. It's almost 20 years of quarterbacks now, and all kind of still communicating with each other.
Yeah, no, it's, that tradition in that room, and it says that you go in the quarterback room, it says tradition of excellence, and it's got those players you just mentioned on there. They all have a relationship with each other. Whether it's Dinwiddie, coming back there and still having a connection, with Brett, or the quarterbacks that we have on our team right now. And I think that's important. That's that brotherhood. That's part of being a Bronco. It's not just at that position, but I think that's a key ingredient to the success of that position. And you got a guy like Kellen. Those guys pay attention. Now he's a quarterback coach. He's doing really good things. I think we've done a good job of continuing that history in that room, and guys connecting where it's not just, this guy's not real, he's actually around, and those guys come back, which is the one thing I enjoy. Our players come back, they're around, and they want to go get with their unit and kind of be around those guys and share a little bit of their knowledge, which we have a lot, and we had some really good ones in that room. We need that. We want that here, and then eventually Brett's going to be gone. He's going to come back. What's he going to share? What's his experience? What's he doing? I think all those things are extremely important.